We got blonde fighter Katlyn Chookagian facing off against Viviane Araujo. Man, this is going to be a banger. This is going to be a banger here, man. And what I have here is very similar to the Burgos Barbosa type of matchup when I was doing my film study, right? So Katlyn Chookagian, BJJ brown belt. She's a former Cage Fury 125 and 135 pound champion with the second most wins and second most significant strikes at women's 125 pounds, man. But she's fighting a beast in Araujo, right? Because Araujo, BJJ black belt, Luta Libre brown belt, former Pancrase 115-pound champion, that just goes to show, with all those fancy words, she's really legit at her grappling and her wrestling and her ground game. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Now, AJ, how does this fight stack up to you? You got a 34-year-old Araujo who is actually, I thought was younger, but she got to make it count right now, man. And Katlyn Chookagian has had many, many opportunities to be at that kind of top range in her division. But this is what it's really going to come down to, man, the experience factor. So what do you think? How do you think this fight plays out, man? Just X's and O's.
Well, I mean, you hit the both nails on the head, Derek. But I think Katlyn Chookagian, she's going to play the same game that she did against Cynthia Calvillo, maintain that outside, keep distance. She has a very, very stiff jab, which a lot of people don't give her credit for. But she'll pink you. She'll hit you hard with that jab, keep you to the outside. And then she's very tall. She's 5'9", going to be fighting a 5'4" girl. She's going to be able to maintain that clinch. Now, like you said, man, Viviane Araujo, she's a beast and extremely, extremely dangerous on the ground. Therefore, she can walk you down, man. She can easily walk you down, like we always talk about with the Brazilians that are so good on the ground that they're just down to throw hands. That's Viviane Araujo or Araujo. Sorry, excuse me, Viviane Araujo. She's amazing at wrestling. She likes to throw her right hand from the hip. It's kind of a crazy, crazy technique. But I was noticing, I think she's a natural lefty. Because that left hand she has, she'll hit you hard, throw those counter hooks hard, and then throw the right from the hip. She's there to take head, she's there to take your head off. Katlyn Chookagian is exactly that punches and bunches. She's going to strike you from the outside, so it's going to be interesting to see. Personally, I think Araujo is going to be able to walk Chookagian down, headhunting from the get-go, throwing big looping shots while Chookagian is going to try to throw down the pipe, maintain distance, and keep that vertical or that circular motion going all the way. What do you think? How do you see it?
Well, I'm almost positive that this fight is taking place in Las Vegas, correct? And if it is, then we're fighting. It's not?
Houston.
This is in Houston? Okay. I thought
it's in Houston, babe. Yeah,
okay, right on,
it's got fans.
Right on. Okay, I thought that was UFC 263 was going to be. Okay, but we in the big cage, so this changes things, right? Because if we're in Vegas, I'm going to say, okay, well, Chookagian's not going to have a lot of room to be moving around trying to get on her bike. But one thing we know is that in a big cage, Katlyn Chookagian likes to be on her bike. And it's very smart because when you're long, when you're rangy, and you can utilize your jab and constantly keep moving, you can't hit what you can't touch, right? Unfortunately, Chookagian is there to be hit at times, definitely, right? And Araujo, if she catches her with the right big hook, man, it's going to be game over. But I will say this, Araujo is she's a very looping type of puncher, right? Everything is kind of big and wide, and Chookagian is just down the pipe, right? That type of stuff, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Nonetheless, I will say that both of them average about 4.5 significant strikes landed per minute, but Araujo, even though she's on these big looping strikes, she lands at a higher clip, man, almost 50%, where Chookagian is at 34%. But the reason why is because Chookagian throws a lot more than the rest of these fighters in her division, man. So I'm glad that you pointed out the height difference, because I do think that's going to play a very, very large factor. I mean, look at Andrade when she tried to fight Valentina. It wasn't even a crazy height disparity, but still, Valentina was able to just kind of keep her at bay. Easy work, man. Now, the big difference here is the takedowns, right? So Araujo, she's at 2.3 takedowns per 15 minutes at a 64% clip. Chookagian's got a 51% takedown defense, man. So she's just going to have to be able to stay away. That's going to be the game plan for this one. Nonetheless, AJ, neither of these fighters have like that real deal knockout power, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, they can knock out their opponent, definitely, but they don't make their bread and butter. They don't make their name off of just starching opponents like that. Maybe like a Zhang Weili or something a little bit different like that, right? Nonetheless, we're talking about experience. Katlyn Chookagian is 8-4 in the UFC, while Araujo is 4-1 in the UFC, man. I don't really have much else to say on this one, other than if you look at the last 5, you will see that Katlyn Chookagian, right? Cynthia Calvillo, Jessica Andrade, Antonina Shevchenko, and Valentina Shevchenko Shevchenko, and Jennifer Maia, where Viviane Araujo, she just beat up Roxanne Modafferi, the Happy Warrior, so you got to feel bad about that one. Montana De La Rosa, Jessica Ai, Alexis Davis, and then Bernardo. I don't remember her first name. Nonetheless, Jessica Ai was the one loss on Araujo's record. Do you not see this fight playing out very similar? This is kind of like a Jessica Ai versus Araujo all over again because this is Chookagian, right? So, I mean, if we know anything, we know that that's a little something to keep in that psychology right there where it's like, all right, she really needs this one, but ultimately, AJ, give me your pick, man. Who are you going for in this one?
Well, first off, Derek, I gotta say, man, how you gonna do my girl Roxy dirty like that? Bring her up. And honestly though, that was one of her best fights I've seen, man. And she, like you said, didn't really have that knockout power, but absolutely pieced up my girl Roxy. It was hard to see, but it was a really good fight. And personally, me, Derek, I'm going to Araujo by decision. I think it's gonna be crazy, man. I think this one has potential to be fight of the night, man. I'm not going with this one as my pick. I'll give that later. But this one's gonna be a crazy fight because it's that styles. Like you said, that styles make fights. Chookagian's gonna stay down the pipe. Well, Araujo's gonna be hunting for the head with outside winging shots. It's gonna be a lot of fun, even if it goes to the ground or in the clinch. Both these girls are very dangerous. But like I said, I got Araujo by decision. Who you got?
All right, I'm going blonde fighter, Katlyn Chookagian, man. There's just a lot of experience, man. You know, she's fought really high-level competition. I think that this is just going to be her saying, listen, man, this is one of those divisions that's like just shallow enough that you can't get rid of me. I'm going to come back. I'm going to fight Valentina again. And I don't... Listen, we could talk about this on the post show on Sunday, depending on who wins or loses, man. But I just don't know what to do with Katlyn Chookagian if she wins again, honestly. You know what I mean? Because what do? Do you feed her to the wolves again, like Valentina Shevchenko, or is Valentina Shevchenko just so dominant that at a certain point she's going to have to, I don't know, man, go move up a weight class, do something. Once Amanda Nunes decides she's going to go to the PFL, so she could go beat up on Kayla Harrison or something like that. I don't know. I'm just joking. That will be a good fight nonetheless. But all right, AJ. So that's what we got on that one, man. Blonde fighter, unanimous decision for me if I didn't say unanimous. And lastly, okay, I'm going to do it for real this time. -135 favorite is Chookagian with a comeback of +115 for Araujo.